And I've never talked to him about it to see if he was disappointed or anything. Because it was a very negative approach. Because I was like, I don't like losing. And I was like, if I lose, at least let me lose with a group of dudes. You'll see my voice, it'll come back just as soon as it takes about 3 hours for then it needs to hydrate.
Water is definitely the source of everything. Okay, ready, Aizo?
Twende.
And we are back. You truly never know people until you take the time out to get to know people. I am having a bucket list CTA. This is one of those CTAs that, yani, when guys ask me, so who do you want to sit down with? I'm like, Kanjii Mbugua.
Yeah.
Now I know where even Kanjii came from.
Yeah.
Imagine I've never known where Kanjii came from.
Imagine that.
One Kanjii Mbugua, the spoken one of, the one who was prophesied over, or prophesied to be.
Yes.
So, where we are in this story, now you're in Muthaiga Primary, I've heard from class 1 to class 4, I've understood your context of home, you're around Ridgeways at this moment, and your dad is
writing for Step magazine, and then eventually moves to the NCCK start a new magazine called Beyond.
Yeah, NCCK stands for what?
National Council of Christian Churches in Kenya.
Oh, for real? That's who he was writing for? Wow.
Yeah.
So he was so the context of your family is Christian properly.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a Christian magazine.
I don't know why I thought it was like that is big, that's huge.
Yeah, it was a Christian magazine.
So he left all these offers, including even the opportunity to be director at World Vision, to go in this direction.
Yeah.
In terms of when I asked you, was the context of the house that you grew up Christian, and you said whatever that means. Why did you say that?
No, I think for me, the older I get, the more things that that we just say, things that people just say, like I kind of reflect a bit deeper on bit deeper is not even the word. I just wonder like what things mean.
What does that mean?
So for example, like say you grew up in a Christian family. I don't know if that's a thing. Because you can only be a Christian person. Right? It's only you follow Jesus as yourself. So I've got a daughter, Sela. She's grown up in my house, which has Christian things, but her Christianity is based on her deciding to follow Jesus by herself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I always wonder what, like, your household can get saved, but it's every individual
who
has to get saved for your household to be saved. You know what I'm saying?
I get
so it's like even those things of a Christian country. It's like
80% Christian.
Yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean? What does that mean? Does it mean everyone is saved? What does that mean? So which is why I was like, what does it mean? I don't know.
No, I completely. In fact, when you put it in context of the country, it's a very good question. What does that really mean? Okay, go on with chronologically from the aspect of from class 5.
So from standard 5 now. So I moved schools. And there's a little side story there. So my dad and mom started building a house in Riruta, Satellite. And so now we're moving to the other side of Nairobi, right?
Wow, yeah.
So so we moved schools and moved to Mckini.
And what time is this? What year?
So this is, I'll tell you the exact year, because it's 90. Has to be 92. Because I'm in standard. No, sorry, not 92.
92.
It's 88.
Yeah, it was the 80s.
Yeah, 88 because I'm in standard 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn!
Yeah. And the girls were there like, that's crazy, man. So yeah, so it was 88. So moved to Mckini, and between Ridgeways and Ruta, the house wasn't ready yet, but I think we had to move out of this one. So we moved in with another family for, I don't know, a couple of months
Yeah.
as our house is getting ready. And that family is the Enjoyers, Reverend Timothy Enjoyer's family.
Wow.
So we lived with them. I don't know, for a couple of months. Must have, at least it felt like that. And that's also a really cool, like, little experience, because Reverend Joya, freedom fighter extraordinaire.
Yeah.
He's
the one who
his daughter Wandia is just as wild as he was. I see her fighting the government, on her Twitter,
Yes,
on her X.
Yes.
So that was a cool little thing. And I'll do a little side story.
Just for context, Joya, there's a photo of him,
Yeah,
Reverend Joya,
Yeah.
where I think cops are beating him.
Reverend Joya was one of the foremost figures in Kenya's second liberation.
This Saba movement that we're talking
Saba
about.
Saba,
in fact, that's where the photo is.
that's him. That's him. That's Reverend Joya. Yeah, incredible human, like incredible human being. Yeah,
Kanjii, I'm going to come. There's a lot of interjections because of the rabbit holes that you.
Yeah, there's so many, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, what you've talked about there is a thing that lacks in today's day and age. You're talking about the forefront of the people behind the Saba movement is the church.
Yeah.
And they were the catalysts. They were the ones on the front lines.
For sure.
In fact, the photo that you see when I think of him,
Yeah.
I think of him in context of that photo.
For sure.
Oh
yeah. No. He got beat up. He was like, but spoke against the Moi regime on the pulpit. Like, he was next level. Him, and I'd say the most vocal, even from being an attacked point of view, I'd say was Alexander Muge, Bishop Muge, and Reverend Njoya. Those were the two. And I'm sure there are many others, right?
Yes.
And I'm not an expert on that topic, so that one you need to talk to my dad. But those ones were very, very, very. I mean, Muge was killed. It was a car accident.
Yes.
Yeah.
But where I think then you can speak in is the space of church and revolution.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts of that? And even from the perspective of what you do musically, and we'll get to your music.
Yeah,
because musically you're so diverse.
Yeah,
when you talk about common hymnal.
Yeah, common hymnal, yeah.
And what that is worship leading.
Yeah.
And social justice.
Yeah.
So just because you've brought up that name, what are some of your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I think injustice, I think as followers of Jesus, injustice has to move us, right? And it's got to move us. And here's the thing: is that it's not just that I think about it. My actions also must follow what my thoughts are. And so I just find that if there's an unjust thing that's happening, that I think there's as part of the human race, number one, but number two, most importantly, as being followers of a God who says, like, his throne is mercy and justice. Like how could we not, So I think now, in terms of how it's done, like, I'm not an expert. This is not my field of expertise. I don't know if it's standing up and preaching about it, or if it's
writing a song,
or
Go into the
take into
streets.
the streets. Yeah. I don't know how you do it, but I think that it's important to God, so it should be important to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you move in with.
Yeah. So we move in with Enjoyers for a couple of months.
And what's that like? What's the
That's cool. That's cool. It
what's
was
the
the first.
exciting story there?
There's one, but for me the feeling. So he has a son, Enjoyer, named after him, and we are like a year and a half difference in age. So it's the first time I have a brother because
Wow.
So we are playing, man. There's no, I don't feel like playing. It's like, boys, we stop when we're told to stop. So I think that's a little respite in my life where that's been filled by, ladies.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh my goodness, this is what it means to have a brother. Because, we lived together, I mean, I've brother figures like, from my childhood. But this one where we're together every day. Hey, how was school? What happened in school? Hey, da 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 da. Hey, which girl do you like? I don't like it. I mean, that was such a cool little space for me.
Yeah.
But the funny story from that time was there was a mouse in the house.
Mouse in the house.
There's a mouse in the house. So Reverend Joya comes to me and Joya. So it's whatever, all up in the kitchen. And so we kind of corner it. So we're the three of us. I can't remember if there was anyone else, but I remember the three of us. And this is the guy who has told Moi Banamaze, bring it. Right? So we're there. We are now playing defense. Three guys trying to trap a rat. You guys, the rat fainted one way, came towards Reverend Joya's side. I saw Reverend Joya jump. And the guy said, "Ew!" meaning there it is, but I'm like, hey, boss, I thought we were
together.
That thing, I died. It was so funny, man. I was like, it was the first time to see a hero, like
with fear.
Yeah. The guy was like, yo, as he pointed at the thing. Hey, that was too funny, man. So that was my funny story there.
Are you going to church?
Yeah. So we're going to church.
Well, no, in Ridgeways it was. Were you going to?
So at this point we've been going to Nairobi Baptist.
Oh.
So Nairobi Baptist was where we went. Yeah.
So your first remembrance of church is Nairobi Baptist?
Yeah, I grew up in Nairobi Baptist. Yeah.
Nairobi Baptist has been there that long?
Mm.
Wow.
Mm. I grew up in Nairobi Baptist.
And what's church like?
Church is awesome.
So it didn't matter where you moved to, you would go to Nairobi Baptist?
We go to Nairobi Baptist, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Sunday school was so cool. It was awesome. I enjoyed Sunday school. I enjoyed church.
And it was every Sunday?
Every Sunday. Every Sunday. Every Sunday. Some influences for me in Sunday school was Zabo was one of my influences.
Yeah.
Because I think he was my standard 8 Sunday school teacher.
Yeah, Pastor Mlandi.
Yeah. Such a cool guy, so and I remember that was the first time he did a little competition for memory verses and, give you the stack. There was like a stack of memory verse cards.
Yep.
And it's like, hey, throw out the whatever I want you guys to memorize, and the winner will get a prize. I went and memorized those suckers in 1 week because I was like, hey, there's something to be won. So yeah. So I came, I think the next Sunday or maybe 2 Sundays later, and I recited all of them, the entire pack. And I can't remember what I won. But that's a cool memory from Sunday school. Also, Sunday school was the first time that I got to I'll do a little backstory. So remind me to tell you about me and my sisters as a singing group. So so it was my first time to perform in church, and it was a pretty lengthy script that I had to memorize and present. I don't know if it was a play, I don't know, but I remember people coming and saying, "Oh, and that was crazy that you memorized all of that." And now by the I can't memorize anything. Eh?
Even your own songs.
It's crazy. Even my own songs, it's crazy. But anyway, so I remember being part of that production, and that was like a really formative thing for me. You know, being able to, you know, get the part and perform it. So school was church. Sorry, it was very pleasant. Us guys were, and we still do this today because we're always the last guys to leave the church. Like, I don't know why, but we'll vibe until there's no one left to vibe. You know, that's how my folks were. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so church would end and we'd be there an hour later. Just me and this other the kid from the other farm, you know, and like, you know,
And your folks.
and our folks,
Just
yeah,
beating stories.
beating stories. So that's something. Yeah. So church was fun.
Okay.
Church was very enjoyable.
And church has
and
always
I
been
didn't
there
even,
your life,
yeah, and I
your
didn't
whole
even
life.
do that thing of skiving church. Like, it was actually enjoyable.
The thing you wanted to go and do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was pretty cool.
So at this time, do you know Wakina Pastor M, or you're just in Sunday school? Zabo,
Oh,
who you know?
Sunday school. I mean, Pastor must be in high school at that
Oh,
point,
it's true.
right? So Zabo,
And it's Nairobi Chapel.
Baptist.
Oh, Nairobi Baptist.
Yeah.
Yes, because you were saying chapel.
I said chapel.
Yeah, because it's like Nairobi
Did I say-
Chapel.
I said Baptist.
It's
Even
Baptist,
even
eh?
Izo is confirming.
Oh, Paul, it's me who.
When you do rewind and show Baptist.
Okay, I get it. Because
Yeah.
in my mind, I'm like, chapel I thought was young.
Yeah.
So it's Nairobi Baptist.
Nairobi Bapo. Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's major.
Yeah. So church was cool. I didn't really get to the place where I went into the youth group. So I did Sunday school.
Okay.
Up to standard 8. That was it. So
And what about the other aspect of school now in Mckini? Because you're in Mckini.
so I'm in Mckini. Yeah, it was good. I was a popular kid. I've always been like an entertainer at heart. So
Okay.
so would be, if there was any chaos, I was somewhere involved. Yeah, somewhere involved. You know, but I've also been always like a friendly person. So made friends easily.
Okay.
So school, like I was smart, but I didn't study. Like yeah. And for me, there's always been a thing for like, I've always preferred study to be self-motivated for myself. Like from when I was a kid, like if I'm interested in a thing, I'll go so deep in it. If I'm not interested, it doesn't matter how much you're talking. And I remember getting in trouble with one of my teachers. Must be my standard 5 teacher, and I think just growing up with such a free thinker like my pops. So I remember getting in trouble in standard 5, I think, Mrs. Nurani, and there was some stuff that like some school rules, and I'm just like, that rule doesn't make sense. And it's like, no, you have to do it. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do it because it doesn't make sense. So for me, I was like, even for rule following, I'm very okay following the rule up to the point at which
it doesn't make sense.
And then if it doesn't make sense, sorry.
You can't make it to the military.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not built for the military. But I think it was a combination of being in the household that I was in.
Yeah.
And I remember her being so upset. But for me, I was like,
make it make sense.
Make it make sense. Yeah, make it make sense. So, you have to do it. I'm like, no, I don't. I don't. and so that kind of ruled my life. At this point, my relationship with God is an interesting one. So I was those guys who would go for altar calls, frequently. But yeah, my thing was, I was more scared about hell than
Purpose.
than wanting to go to heaven.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
So I was like, hey, I don't want to go there, and I think I've earned my way to there right now. So
it was fear driven.
Yeah, fear driven, and then it didn't help that those are the days of that play, Heaven's Gates, Hell's Flames.
Yep.
And I remember going to it and running to the altar call. I'm like, hey, I'm not too certain, but if you're sure,
yeah,
let me come get sure.
So, career-wise, have you moved from pastor to musician?
What do you mean?
Remember when you last said when you're 8
Oh
years
no,
old?
not yet.
So what are you at this
So
time?
at this point, so there's a point where that birth story, you got muted.
Oh, I hear it.
Right, and so those years, I'm just doing my thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
and getting saved every so often, just to make sure the last one hasn't rubbed.
It's funny.
You guy, man, it was so funny, man. So yeah, so that's kind of like what my childhood is like. I'm playing tennis, pursuing, and I'm playing competitively. So I'm doing tournaments, and I got pretty good. I was seeded like 4th in the country in my age group.
Wow.
So I'm really doing tournaments like Mombasa Open, Kenya Open, Parklands Open. I'm doing all of them because that's what our family does. And then at some point, maybe I'm fast forwarding too much, but anyway, it's okay. The story will go back and forth. So my athletic pursuits was my main interest at that point. And I'm not really doing anything musically because this is now my preteen into early teen.
And this, what school?
I'm still in Mckini.
Okay.
So this standard 6, standard 7, standard 8, right? Then about standard 8, I've had like a few bad tournaments, and I never could get past. There were like 3 players I could just
not beat.
Yeah, man, I remember them, man. They were good players, but I just couldn't get past them. Like my skill, and I don't know if it was so much skill, but I think it was more mental than anything else. Tennis is mentally grueling. Tennis, I think, more than most sports, is extremely mental.
Wow. Even more than golf.
I think golf is up there. First of all, any sport where it's just you, boxing, where it's just you and the opponent, is next level, right?
Yes. Yep.
Then because there's strategy, the tennis. Like I saw this crazy statistic. The 3 greatest tennis players in our generation, Roger Federer, Djokovic, and Nadal.
Serena is not up in there?
No, I'm saying male.
Okay.
Right? So it was a statistic on those 3 guys. They dominated like crazy. The 3 of them, right? The ladies, Serena, okay? She's amazing. But this statistic was about the 3 of them.
Okay, I get it.
And if I was to ask you, so these guys have been the best of the best, okay?
Peter Andres, none of those guys fall in that thing.
And I'm saying in this current crop, right? This era, right?
Because I'm like, hey.
Yeah, but these 3 guys have surpassed all those guys. Sampras, by far.
Pete Sampras.
By far. I mean, Djokovic is 24 slams. Like, it's crazy.
Okay.
It's crazy how dominant they've been, and they were together in that season.
Okay.
And so that one for like I think there was a season where they accounted for maybe like a 10-year run. They accounted for like 90% of all the finals was one of the three
yeah,
of them.
yeah.
Right? That's how dominant they were. So it says in a game, like, so we're playing, I win a point, you win a point, right? So the guy's like, how many points, what percentage do you think of their points they won? Right? And your mind goes like, what? For them to be that dominant, right? Must be in the 70s, maybe 80s. Like, if I'm playing you,
yes, of course, yeah,
I have to win 80, I win the points 80% of the times.
Yep.
You guy, it was between 51% and 54%.
What?
For them to be that dominant, they literally just won 51 to 54% of all the points they ever played. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's just that thing of how tennis is such a the scoring is so close.
Yes.
That the greatest players,
advantage.
The greatest players, as in they've only won 51% of the points they ever played.
Wow.
Right? So tennis. So the whole point I was making is like it's a very mental sport. And at this point, I'm not mentally strong. I've not gotten mentally strong. So me, every time I lost, I would cry. I'm very competitive, and I still lose badly, but I lose better now. But then I lost badly. I would cry. So about standard 8, I've started discovering basketball at this point. I come and tell my dad, I'm like, hey, my tennis career is over. He's like, tell me more. I'm like, yeah, man. I'm like, this losing, I don't like losing. I don't like losing by myself. I don't like playing by myself. So me, I want to do a team sport. So I said, I've discovered basketball. I'm enjoying it. So that's what I want to do. And my dad was like, okay, cool, man. Like, cool, you go and do that. So that's how I switched to team sports. And that's how I got into basketball. So
me, I'm like, you are that involved with your dad that you're even having the conversations with him about it.
Yeah.
That's like that's not the norm.
Yeah, definitely.
You understand what I
Yeah,
mean?
Yeah.
Kids just do things and they play outside and it's fine, but they don't have to come for, maybe because you're Spain, but still, no, you made the decision to go and talk to him.
Yeah. So that's kind of like now how because I'd grown up in a tennis family. My sister went on to do great things in tennis. But yeah, at about standard 8, I was just like,
no, enough is enough.
In fact, I told him when I told him, and I've never talked to him about it to see if he was disappointed or anything, because it was a very negative approach. Because I was like, I don't like losing, and I was like, if I lose, at least let me lose with a group of dudes.
I think it's brilliant though.
Yeah.
Like when you think about it, like I want to do a team sport.
Yeah. So that's now how I moved to team sports. Yeah. So and then I was a basket. Then the same drive and energy and passion I'd had in tennis, I turned that to basketball. Maybe even more, because now it was my own pursuit. It wasn't something that I'd been taken to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means now primary ends. You do well in school.
Yeah, so I do decent. I've always done just decent.
Okay.
So I was never superly book smart, but I also didn't try hard. So for me, I always felt like that's something I have to do, not something I want to do.
I get it.
Right. So I just fulfilled the. Okay, cool. I've done the exam. I can go.
You're giving them the grades.
I can go to high school.
They're not for you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I've finished high school. I've gotten enough to make it to university. Okay, cool. So it was never like academia was never inspiring for me.
And this is the era where that is all that is available to people.
Yeah.
We're in a time where there's a lot of
options. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Options for different personalities to thrive.
Yeah. And I think also it's that thing of at that point people didn't know how people learn. Right? So there's just kind of like one way. So me, I'm a very I'm a critical thinker. My mind, like I think they call it a spatial thinker. So me, I want to understand why. Right? And then at that point, you didn't ask why.
Yes.
That was rebellion. But when I'm asking why, I'm not asking because I'm rebelling. I'm asking because when I talk, I'm understanding.
I get it.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so where do you go? And wait. Before this time, music doesn't sound at all core.
Music is not core. So I'm doing music. So there's a little era in my childhood when my sisters and I were a singing group. So, Lubembe, the coach, would come, teach us songs. And then, when my dad would travel, he was like an itinerant speaker. He'd go and speak in whatever. We'd go and sing and open for him. Like I have even photos of us guys. So we grew up kind of performing, singing, etc. But it was that, and dude, we even have, there was a TV show called Joy Bringers.
You on it?
We were on it. Me and my sisters on what was that one called? There was Joy Bringers, and then there was
Sing and Shine.
Sing and Shine.
Sing and
Yeah.
Shine.
So we did those two, and performed on on those two. So there's a little period where I'm singing with my sisters, but it's just something we do. It's not passion or anything like that.
But that's the thing. You're doing the thing which is the thing.
Yeah.
But you don't have the passion.
I don't have the passion. Yeah.
It's like the tennis without the losing.
Yeah. Exactly. So, and it wasn't until my first year in high school, maybe it's a good segue to get into high school years. My first year in high school when it was literally, Form 1, Pastor Elijah Wanje.
And where do you go to high school?
I go to Nyeri Baptist.
Why Nyeri?
Basketball.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Nyeri Baptist was so good at
volleyball. So you know how guys filled out the schools that we're going to? I filled it out because we had to, and if I'm if I go to a national school, I want to go to this school, whatever, I want to go to this school, and then eventually you're like, you fill out the form and that's it. But me, I knew I was gonna go to Nyeri Bap.
But how
my parents didn't know Nyeri Bap. They didn't know anything. I had met guys. So we used to go to a sports club called Public Service.
Yes.
Sports club in Upper Hill. So we were members there, and we used to go there. And there used to be a bunch of guys who used to come and play basketball there. And those guys were all from Nyeri Bap.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, those guys were super cool. They were so cool, man. So I was like, yeah, I don't know that place.
I'm going.
But that's where I'm going. So in fact, my parents were like, what, Nyeri Baptist? Where is that? I'm like, that's where I'm going. I don't know about you guys, but that's where I'm going to school.
Hilarious.
So I think my dad Funguat school fees so 5Gs. Like, yeah, let's go there.
Financially, it
makes
sense.
So get to high school. High school is an experience because Nyeri Baptist had a wonderful reputation. Great people, amazing people. Facilities was something else. Was something. In fact, I took my kids there, before we relocated to the States. For I took my kids there, and it was so rough. It became a threat. Like, hey, you play around, I'm going to take you in Nyeri Baptist. They were like, how did you go to school over here? I mean, I'm like, that was the best school.
So
I would repeat that again. Made such wonderful friends.
That's crazy.
High school for me was some of the best years of my life.
Wow.
I loved Nyeri Bap to death. The facilities, not so much. It was rough. It was rough life. But I went for basketball. but I got more than basketball.
Uh-huh.
Because obviously basketball was a big deal. It was a big basketball school at the time. It was the number one basketball school in the country. So very attractive for basketball players. And so I go there, Form 1, so I'm playing basketball. That's my thing. And then still hanging out with the older kids, right? See, I told you I used to like hanging out with the older kids. So I'm hanging out with the Form 4 guys, Form 3, as a rabble, as a Form 1 student. And then there was a group of seniors, Form 4 students, who they had an a cappella group. But these were the epitome of coolness in the school, because they were all on the basketball team. Starters, some of them starters, incredible basketball players, but then they also sang, and they had an a cappella group. So one day they're practicing, and they're singing whatever song, those a cappella songs that high school guys used to sing. They're singing, and I'm just there. Hey, what are you guys? Just come hanging with them, just sitting there, and then I joined in and started singing. And they stopped. They're like, "Dude, you can sing, man." I'm like, "Really?" They're like, "Yeah. Hey, sing with us on Sunday at chapel." I'm like, "Sure." So it was
the cool
Form
kid.
4 guys and me.
What?
Form 1 singing with them, and that's a big. I mean, right now it sounds like nothing, but for 13, 14-year-old kid hanging out with a 17, 18-year-old kids, that's a big deal.
That's major.
So I sang with them on Sunday, and then afterwards. So this is the funny thing about how music now came back into my life. It wasn't spiritual at all. It was the
chillest. Chillest.
So they came. So afterwards, I had like several girls come up to me like, "Oh my goodness!"
Nyeri Baptist was a mixed school.
Was a mixed school.
Yes.
It was a mixed school. "Oh my goodness! I didn't know you could sing. Oh, you sang so well." I'm like, "Guys, are we singing next Sunday? Are we? What's our strategy? How often are we going to be singing? When are practices?" So that's literally how I got pulled into singing. It was the attention that I got from singing that first time. And that's literally how God grabbed me and got me into singing. Before that, I wasn't singing. And I didn't even
understand how good you are.
I didn't know I was good. Or maybe I had the potential of being good. And it wasn't until that first Sunday at Nyeri Bap. And then I sang every time they sang. I mean, I joined the group officially.
Wait. In fact, let's take a quick break here. We're taking the story from Nyeri Bap.
Okay, cool.
I want this to be like it's an epic transformation of your life.
Yeah, for sure. It was.